We believe that Senator Stuart Syvret, then Jersey's current health minister, told him to go and commit suicide. Now, in a moment, the man at the centre of the storm, Senator Jim Perchard, will tell us his version of events. But first, here's a recap of events that are reported to have happened over the past few weeks. It all came to a head during a state debate on Tuesday, the 10th of March. Senator Stuart Syvret brought the sitting to a standstill, claiming Senator Jimmy Perchard had sworn at him and told him to go and top himself. Senator Perchard denied the claim, saying, "I absolutely refute that." But less than a week later, after a number of members who sit next to Senator Perchard said they'd heard him swear, he was forced to admit he had lied. But he still denied telling the former health minister to go and commit suicide. That may be true, but Senator Perchard has now admitted that on another occasion he did tell Senator Stuart Syvret to go and do everyone a favour and slit his wrists. Last week, Senator Perchard apologised in the States and said constant goading by Senator Syvret had caused him to lose his cool. But for some members, that apology wasn't enough, and one of them has tabled questions for tomorrow morning.
I think he ought to apologise to people who have been affected either by suicide or whose family members have been affected, and I think he does need to apologise to them.
Up until now, Senator Perchard has avoided speaking to the media, but with pressure mounting for his resignation, he's decided to face his critics. Well, Senator Jimmy Perchard joins us now, and Senator, let's first of all clarify exactly what happened in the States. Did you swear at Senator Syvret, and did you tell him to go and commit suicide?
Senator Syvret and I sit by each other, or used to sit by each other in the States Assembly, and occasionally, after being goaded, we would have a private conversation. And yes, I did swear at Senator Syvret, as he does to me.
But did you tell him to go and commit suicide?
No, not on that occasion I didn't. But I have to admit that last year, after being called a corrupt crook, I did suggest that he'd do us all a favour. And go and commit suicide. I regret that immensely. I wish I hadn't have said it. It's not very parliamentary, and I have caused great offence to many people. And I'm sorry about that.
What was the exact words you used then? Was it go and
it was a private conversation. It was overheard by a journalist who decided to, with Senator Syvret, to put it into the public domain. I regret it immensely. It was last year, and I should never have said it. I am so sorry I did say it. I've caused great harm and offence to people who have suffered loss of bereavement as a result of somebody committing suicide. I can only imagine the pain that would cause, and this would just multiply it, and I'm sorry for that. I've learnt a great deal from this. Words, albeit can be spoken easily, can mean a lot, and I'm sorry.
Why did you say it, Senator Perchard? I mean, you were Assistant Health Minister at the time, and a lot of people said that, you know, that is a position where you're encouraging and promoting the health and well-being of islanders, and you said it, and you're in a public position, no matter who you said it to.
Absolutely.
Did it not occur to you that would be a stupid thing to say?
It was a off-the-cuff, silly, stupid thing to have said. I'm sorry I said it, and I'm sorry that the offence I've caused.
Have you apologised to Senator Syvret?
I've apologised to the people of Jersey, the states, all the states members, and I want now to apologise to people who may have been hurt. Sorry.
What about Senator Syvret?
I would like to apologise to people who may have been hurt by my comments, people that have lost loved ones, and this comment is simply just multiplied their pain, and I'm sorry.
I have to press you on and say you haven't apologised to Senator Syvret.
I've apologised to all states members.
What about him individually?
Senator Syvret is a member of the states.
But individually, on a one-to-one basis?
No, I haven't. No.
Do you intend to?
Yes, I'm quite happy to. I really am sorry that I've offended Senator Syvret, states members, the people of Jersey, and people who have lost loved ones. And I wish to use the time I have at health to ensure that our health, that our mental health department is properly resourced. And I want to learn from this experience, and I think I'll be stronger for it.
Well, I mean, as you've admitted yourself, you know, your comments have provoked a lot of anger from people who have lost loved ones through suicide. And one of those people is a Jersey woman, Jill Bratsier. Now, by a cruel twist of fate, today is the 5th anniversary of the death of her son, Neil. She is appalled by the health minister's remarks and is calling for his resignation.
I feel there are ways you can get round issues and speak to people and get the best out of them without resorting to words like that. But for my part, I can't describe to anybody what it's like, because there aren't words. There aren't words.
It was 5 years ago today that Jill's son Neil took his own life. For her, the pain will never go away. The comments alleged to have been made to Senator Syvret by the Health Minister were hurtful and unacceptable.
Nobody should make that sort of remark. There are a lot of vulnerable people out there that, might think, well, life isn't worth a lot. People see it that way. Somebody in our government sees it that way, and it might tip them over the edge. You have people like the Samaritans that are volunteering and spend hours and hours and hours on the phone trying to talk people out of committing suicide, and then this sort of comment gets made in the public domain. It's wrong. It is totally wrong.
Jill wrote to Senator Perchard voicing her distress. She says the reply was swift, but the apology itself was brief.
The remainder of the email was used up blaming Senator Syvret. It was all Senator Syvret's fault. Stuart Syvret didn't put the words in his mouth, they came out of his mouth. He claims he was provoked, but whatever provocation there was had no justification for that sort of comment.
Senator Perchard has also apologised in the House, but Jill says that for her and others like her, it's just not enough.
Mr Perchard, I don't think you realise the hurt and the harm that you've done. Your words were not acceptable to anybody under any circumstances at any time. And I just hope you do the decent thing. And if you don't resign, at least give the people that have been affected by this a genuine apology.
So there you have it, Senator Perchard. She's calling for resignation. Will you resign?
I would like to meet Mrs. Garcia to understand the full extent of her pain and to try and learn from this experience. Now, I've got no intention of resigning. I will be stronger for this, and we'll be looking to support our mental health services to a greater extent and to really understand the problem. I do know that suicide levels in Jersey are higher statistically than they are in the mainland. We need to get to the bottom as to why and try and learn from this, and I will be better equipped to do that. There is a job to do here, and I am very sorry to Mrs. Garcia for the offence I've caused her. I can only imagine the pain that she's been through for the last 5 years, and I apologise unreservedly to her and others.
Now, they sound like very solemn words, but at the moment they are just words. Do you intend to actually do anything about it? Like, for example, what would you say to spending a day with the Samaritans and actually learning from them and chipping in with the work that they do?
Well, I have already started work visiting our mental health people and having discussions with them about our suicide prevention strategy. I am aware that this is a very complex and deep subject and very emotive, and I am going to ensure that it is a priority for me as we move forward.
Well, while we've got you talking on record, will you commit to actually going down to the Samaritans Day and allowing us to film it?
There's lots of places I commit to going to. Focus on mental health is a wonderful institution, as well as is the Samaritans. We're working positively.
But will you allow us to look at you, taking part in some restorative justice?
I'm quite happy to visit the Samaritans and learn from them. I want to learn more about the incidence of mental health and suicide, and Jersey must try and improve its strategy and improve its assistance it offers to people who are desperate, and I want to lead that.
As we had there, Mrs. Garcia was calling for a resignation. Why shouldn't you resign?
Well, I've apologised unreservedly for a comment I made in a private discussion with somebody who'd provoked me and goaded me. And I said something at the spur of the moment. It was outrageous. I'm sorry for saying it, and I really do regret it. But it wasn't said without provocation. I think most of your listeners will be aware of the levels of provocation people like me and officers of the department, even the bailiff, have to endure at times.
Okay. Well, I've put some of our viewers' comments there to you. It'll be interesting to see whether you do actually carry out your promise to apologise to Senator Syvret and also go and visit the Samaritans. We look forward to seeing what happens after. Senator Perchard, thank you for coming in.